It's a quiet weekend for Tony and Ashley Weeks. At first glance, one would never know they both had a full sex change.
Generally, people don't really notice that Tony and I are transgender. Normally, we're just taken as who we are, and sometimes people are surprised when we let them know.
Yet there are some signs that things aren't quite what they seem.
Most of the time, I do stuff like this. I don't mind doing it. Ashley has more of a background in doing electrical work.
My father was an electrician in the Navy, and I don't believe that he would have taught me to repair electrical equipment if I grew up female. Tony finds it nice that I'm able to do this sort of thing. He wasn't really taught these things when he was growing up, so we kind of complement each other that way.
They're happier than they've ever been in their lives. But it's been a long road. Texas, 1967. Tony is a baby girl named Gail.
My mom would dress me in dresses, and, you know, I have ballerina lessons and tap dancing and stuff like that. My mom would try to put the ribbons in my hair, and I would yank them out and throw them. So I guess even back then, I didn't want to wear ribbons in my hair.
The most common thing that I hear is, by 5 years old, I knew that I was a girl, or I knew that I was a boy. It's sometimes earlier, as early as 18 months, as early as kids being verbal and being able to say, you know, no, I'm not going to wear that.
As an adopted child, Gail feels extra pressure to be the perfect little girl.
They adopted me because they wanted to have a daughter. It really was hard on me because I didn't want to disappoint them and let them down. But yet there was nothing I could do about what I was feeling inside.
Nearly 2,500 kilometers away in California, Ashley is growing up as a little boy. His name is Don.
I guess when I was about 6 years old, I felt as if I was one of the girls and not one of the boys. I thought there was something wrong with me. I didn't know what, but from a very early age, I knew that it wasn't a good thing for me to bring up.
Gender is very complicated. So when we talk about gender nonconformity, in this context, we're talking about somebody whose internal gender identity doesn't match their assigned gender at birth that's based on their genitals. Those kids have very bad experiences in school and a lot of times at home as well.
For Gail, developing into a teenage girl is a nightmare.
I remember laying in bed at night praying for the next morning when I would wake up, for my body to not be the way it was when I went to sleep, when the breast started developing. At that point, I got so desperate that I actually had started cutting myself up because I just hated the body so much. Inside, I felt like I was suffering. I just was trapped.
Things did get very difficult prior to puberty and past. I had a lot of the girls that were very close and wanting to date and this sort of thing.